Hello, everybody. I think everything is hooked up. Let me know how it sounds, how everything looks to you. I'm using a different microphone and I have a little bit of microphone anxiety when it comes to the live streams because of past things that have happened. So let me know if the microphone's okay. If it's not, then I will switch. So just let me know. I've had this microphone for a while, but it scares me because it has so many high-tech hook-in things and I'm always afraid I'm going to mess it up. Sounds good? Okay. Let me know. I am also very like a breathy laugher, I guess. So if I'm laughing too much and like causing too much noise into the microphone, just let me know. And I think I can like move it away. So awesome. Yay, I'm so glad to see everyone here. Let me know how your holiday and your new year was. Let me know if you're working on anything for the new year, if you started a new project. I'm not starting any new projects for a little bit. I have some that I need to finish up. Hi, desktop. Yep, desktop right here. All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started because I have a few announcements to make. And I also want to say that if you haven't watched part one where I started this bed, you may kind of get a little bit lost in what I'm doing because I took a lot of time in that stream to explain how this pattern works. And in that stream, you can get the pattern, and I just walk you through how it goes together. Let's see. Working on my own abandoned house. That's awesome. We have people from New Jersey and Mexico and Denmark. Welcome to your first live stream, Amanda. I got COVID for Christmas. I'm so sorry. I heard a lot of people ended up having COVID, and it's kind of ramping up around here too. So we're trying to be careful. Let's see. Just another day for me, apart from a nice dinner. Yes, welcome if this is your first live stream. And like I said, this is part two. So if you are really interested in this pattern and making it along with me, I highly suggest watching part one. However, if you just want to hang out and you want to see a miniature get made, you don't need to worry about it. So it's definitely up to how much you want to be involved with this creation of this pattern. So I will show you where this came from, just so you have some reference. This is the half-inch furniture kit made by Deanne Ruff, and I got in contact with Deanne, and she allowed me to share the bed pattern with you all because this kit is no longer being made. So that's where the pattern came from. It's not an original pattern of mine. I made some removable snow details for one of my scenes. Well, that's awesome, because then you can change the weather. I like that. Had a great Christmas with all my kids and grandkids. Oh, that's so sweet. Oh, it's going by fast. First live stream from New Zealand. Well, welcome, Michelle. Was it Michelle? Yes. Yay, Christine, you caught me. Learning to crochet here, painfully slow, but getting there. My hat's off to anyone who can crochet or knit. I have tried it and I cannot do it. I don't know what it is, but my fingers and my brain can't do it. But it's beautiful and it's amazing. My sister can do it, and so I get to live vicariously through her and have all the crochet goodies, but I don't have to make them because I can't. Well, I'm sure if I really, trudged through the learning process, I could. But I'd rather make miniatures, and I'd rather her make crochet items, and we can swap. All right, so I told you there were going to be some announcements, so let me do that as well. So this is the Fairfield that I'm working on this pattern for, which is the project I've been doing in the live streams for quite a while. It has a family of these little skeleton people and their dog. And we've been working on it for a while. I don't know if you can see it behind me. It's right there. Here, let me go back to the double screen so you can kind of see it a little bit better. There we go. There's the Fairfield. So I've been working on that for quite a while, and a lot of people have been working on it with me or working on their own Fairfield in their own time. And we're so close to having, sorry, it's opposite, so I'm like trying to figure out which way to point. We're so close to having the exterior done. Really all that's left to do is for me to shingle the roof. So I am planning to move the Fairfield videos from the streams to edited videos on my channel. So if you have been a fan of the Fairfield, you'll start to see it in some of my Friday videos, because I want to start making like the exterior staircase that I've wanted to do, a lot of furniture, interior things, which is one, hard to film in a live stream because I don't have time to sit there and adjust and make sure I have the right camera angle so you can see everything. And it's just hard to get something completed in 2 hours. So what I've decided to do is to make the streams more of just a hangout time, and I'll just be working on whatever project is going on at that moment. And that way it's a little bit less stressful for me on those weeks. You can kind of get an insight into some of the things that I work on in my own time, I guess. And I think it'll be also a little bit more freeing for me to chat and communicate in the live streams, which I find is, when people like the live streams, that's what they like about it. They like chatting and asking questions and talking with other people in the chat as well. And so I'll feel a little bit more like I can be a part of the community instead of just being like laser focused on I have to get this done in 2 hours. So that's kind of my plan. Let me know what you think. If you've been a long time Fairfield viewer or stream viewer, what you think about that idea. I'm also open to suggestions of other things to do in the stream. In the past, we've done the paper kit where I made the little flying airship. I did that when I needed a break from the Fairfield. So feel free to leave comments, or even after the stream is over, comments in the comment section just saying, hey, I would love to see this, and maybe it could be something that I could live stream if it doesn't quite fit into a regularly scheduled video, or something that's just a little bit easier for me to do while people are asking questions, where I can, or maybe even experiment with materials or tools that I've never tried before. And I always see that there are people in the comments that know more than me on several things. So, for example, getting out the airbrush. And I've kind of got like base coating down, but maybe doing some more detailed paint jobs and having people who have more of an experience give me suggestions, and we could do that live. And so that may be a little bit more of an interactive experience. Let's see. Okay, awesome. I'm so glad y'all like the sound of that. Thank you, Kathleen. I love the quiz we did for the 100K. Yeah, we could do something like that too. We could do something a little bit more on the fun side, instead of like, okay, we got to get stuff done. We got to get this done. We got to get this complete. We got to get this glued. We got to get this dried. It would be a little bit more relaxed. And if we wanted to play a game, or if I want, it would even be fun to be like, I painted something and you all chose my paint colors, because I do know. Yes, I'm on StreamYard right here, but YouTube has like a poll option, and I've never used it before, but I thought that would be fun. Like I could do a poll, you could choose what I am the color I'm painting, or what I'm going to be using, and it's a little bit more interactive fun. Whatever happens, happens. It's not meant to end up being a tutorial. So I've avoided a shingles job since last summer. Yeah, it's really easy to push off doing the shingles, but it's one of those things that's better to do in an edited video because I can time lapse it or just show you the highlights and you don't have to watch me put shingles on a house for 2 hours because nobody really, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to put you through watching me do that. So, as I said, if you have suggestions, I will definitely go back and like read comments if I'm missing them now. So if you do have an idea or something you think would be cool for a live stream, just let me know. All right, so now we are going to go back to this set of instructions. So if you did download this, let me show you what we made last time. I think when we left off, I was still doing the pleats. So all I did was finish the pleating. Is the camera a little bit too dark? Let me know if it's too dark and I can try and lighten it up a little bit. Just let me know. But we did the pleats on here and I completed that, glued those down, and then I glued the headboard. So all of this was created in the previous live stream, or what I consider part 1. I'm not sure if it says part 1 yet, but I'll have to remember to go back and change the title to say part 1. It looks okay? Okay. Thank you, Megan. It's a little dark? Okay. All right, let me see if I can fix it. Hold on. Oh, I probably should have put you on this other one so you're not getting sick if I'm touching this. Okay. There we go. All right, let me see if I can make this just a little bit brighter. Oh, that's a lot brighter. Let's see if that looks better. Is that too bright now? I think that looks a little bit better. This camera that I'm using is kind of old, so there we go. Yeah, that seems a little bit brighter to me. Okay, let me know if that sounds, if that looks a little bit better. Better? Okay, I see it's better from Julie. Okay. Oh yes, I am using, I'll introduce my clover. Someone mentioned the clover iron. Donna mentioned my clover came with a stand to hold. Yes, so I'm going to be using this. This is a clover iron. I used it in the last live stream as well. And it's just a small iron. It makes it a little bit easier for pressing down really tiny bits of fabric, which is often needed in creating miniatures. So, and I also suggested to get some kind of stand because it is extremely hot. So if you do have one of these or you're going to use one of these, just be very, very careful. Okay, there we go. And make sure you have something to keep it up off your desk because I have had it burn through a mat and burn my desk. So just be very careful. Are they expensive? I think it depends on which one you get. So if you are getting just the basic iron, I can't quite remember how much it is. But you can also get the iron with a bunch of attachments. So if you want to save a little bit of money, just get the plain iron without the attachments. Or if you think you're going to use it for a lot of different things, you might find that it's worth the money to invest in the attachments. So you can totally just look at the different options and see which one you like. I just realized the table for the captain's quarters is behind you. Love that. We'll upcycle anything that someone trashed. Yes. If you follow me on Instagram or TikTok, I found this table right here on the side of the road yesterday, and it's going to become the base for the captain's quarters. And yeah, so it was free, so I'm pretty excited about that. right. Hold on 1 second and we will go ahead and get started. Okay. All right. So getting back to these instructions. Now the instructions I uploaded for you have some of the pieces missing, so you won't see, no, you'll see all of this. We'll get, when we get to the next page, you won't see this part. So for right now, we are right here and we need to start creating the bedspread. Now Deanne has this really cool layout where she explains everything you need to do. And if you read all of this and you read all of the notes, it makes sense. But at first it can be really intimidating. And this is what I kind of talked through in the previous live stream, is everything makes sense, but you have to read everything first for it to make sense. So yes, free is very good. Let's see. Thank you, Zachary. Yeah, I'm not on TikTok very often, but every now and then something I think would be a good TikTok video and I just go for it. So every now and then. Okay, so what we need for this bedspread pattern is we need the patterned material, whatever pattern you have chosen, and it needs to basically fit this rectangle. I also ended up finding that I did have some lace, which I don't use a lot of lace, I guess, in my miniatures, and I have no idea. Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining into the live stream. We are just now getting started because I was talking for 17 minutes. But I was just giving a few announcements on some things that are going to change. But I'm hoping that everything that's going to change is just going to enhance projects and also enhance the live streams so they just become really fun places to hang out, I hope. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this lace all around the edge, and it says the edge is unhemmed. So I'm not worrying about adding a hem. I'm just going to glue it on the top. And I'm using tacky glue for this. And I also have my iron ready to go because what the iron does is it cures the tacky glue almost instantly. So you don't have to sit there and wait for everything to cure or to dry. Yeah, welcome everybody. I really can't tell you where I got the lace. I have no idea, but I'm glad I have it because I didn't really know what I was going to do with the edge if I didn't have a lace, because it has to be a really thin lace. I even think this is a little bit too thick. It's supposed to be a 1/4 inch lace, and this is about a 3/8 inch lace. So I'm just using what I have. Yay, you made it. Hi, Jan. All right, so we're going to get a toothpick. Is there any echoing happening for you? Because I'm having some echoing. I can hear, but you may not be able to hear it. So I hope you can't hear it, because that would be really annoying. I'm okay ignoring it, but I just want to make sure that it's not being annoying for you. I'm just going to start by adding a little bit of glue where I'm going to apply the lace. I'm just going to do a little bit at a time. I'm using tacky glue and I'm spreading it pretty thin because when I press the lace onto the fabric, I don't want the glue to come up through the lace and make kind of an ugly mark on the lace. So I want the glue to be fairly flat and stay between the lace and the fabric. Am I doing this the best way? I'm not quite sure. No echo? Okay. It's just a special echo for me that I get to listen to. Okay, so I'm going to lay that into the glue, and I'm just doing a little bit at a time because I'm not super confident on how well the tacky glue is going to take hold, but it seems like it's taking hold pretty well. So I'm just going to flip it over. I'm just going to hit the fabric on the back with the iron, and that will cure that tacky glue right away. And I don't have to worry about that lace coming up. All the trims I have come from my mother, who hand-stitched Barbie doll clothes. That is awesome. I think it's great. Like, I know a lot of people who sew or create doll clothes or actual real life human clothes have like amazing lace and trim collections, and often those collections get passed down to the next generation. And most likely, I'm guessing that I don't know where this lace came from, but I'm guessing I probably got it from an estate sale, which is a great place to get fabric and sewing notions if if you're on a budget, because if there is someone who has unfortunately passed away, but they don't have another sewer in their family, then many times it does end up in an estate sale or a garage sale, and you can get some great deals. Because all of that stuff has value, but when you don't have anyone to pass it down to, then I guess that's what happens. we, uh, I love the fact that miniature people have to explain we mean real life human size. Yes. That's why on one of my Instagram posts I put 1-to-1 scale. And I know that threw a couple people off because they were trying to figure out what scale I was talking in, but I don't often put like real life size pictures unless there's a person in it. And it was a photo of the new space that I built, and I know I get confused all the time because like a lot of my feed on all of my platforms is miniatures, and it does take my brain a few seconds to register, is this miniature or is this real life? If there's not a human, a moving human being in the frame. I've been to this channel early on. I was and still am a little addicted. Well, thank you. I'm so glad you're still enjoying the videos. I'm really excited about this year. I'm excited about 2022. I'm already feeling the pressure though of not having time to do everything I want to do. Like it's what, the second week of the year, and I'm like, I'm running out of time this year already. Like, and uh, I guess in a good way, it's because I have so many ideas and so many things I want to get done that I'm just like, there's not enough weeks in the entire year to do everything I want to do. But maybe that's a good realization to have in January. I don't know. All right, so I guess on here it says ease lace around corner. So I guess I'm going to have to get creative on how I take the lace around the corner. But first I'm just going to hit everything here with the iron so it stays in place. And then we can continue around the corner. Yeah, get well to everyone who's not feeling good, everyone that's going through it right now. Oh, I see Zachary asked, have you ever thought about making a mini you? A mini me? Yes, I have actually, and I have a partially finished mini me that I started creating. It was a class where you could paint a porcelain doll, and you used porcelain paints and everything. And it's funny because the doll I thought looked a lot like me, and I'm like, well, that would be cool if I had an era doll that could fit in some of my projects. And I just haven't finished the doll. What I want to do is, I'm going to get distracted. Okay, let me continue with the lace. What I want to do is find, or I guess print fabric for a flannel shirt, because a lot of the flannel you purchase is the pattern's going to be a little bit too big. So I want to get the pattern of a flannel shirt and maybe even one of my own flannel shirts, and print that in scale so that I can, you know, kind of wear my own clothes, I guess. I don't want to be dressed in something that isn't, you know, because that's part of what I guess makes someone is how they dress and present themselves. So it would also be fun to kind of do a hoodie or something. I purchased Aira's cardboard room box to make with my daughter for her brother's castle-themed wedding. We unfortunately have not been able to start it due to my sister getting sick and needing care. I'm so sorry about that. I hope you're still able to do it at some point, because I know you were really excited about that project. Oh, let's see. I do embroidery, but I've been kind of burnt out recently. Can you give me a topic or a plant? A topic or a plant? Interesting. Of course, I am always going a little bit dark and creepy with things that I initially think. I'm like, how can I make this dark and creepy? So I don't know if that's your style or not. But I have always thought Venus flytraps are so interesting and cool. I just think they're the most interesting little plants. Like they have like a trap that's triggered and closes on their prey. I just think they're a cool plant. So I guess the plant I would give you is Venus flytrap, and maybe the theme, is it a theme that you asked for? Be like snack time or something. Let's see. Sorry, I'm missing. Thank you, Brown Sugar Crochet. Is there any way we could start? Oh, I see you're asking, Rachel. Have you thought of 3D printing dolls for your rooms? Yes, I have actually 3D printed some dolls. I don't think at that time I was very well versed on how to paint them, because when you 3D print them, you're kind of you print them all one color, so you have to do, you know, all the skin tones and everything. And what I was trying to do was print a ball jointed doll in 1/12 scale. And that's really difficult because ball joints are very small and delicate. So you had to make sure you were printing it with the correct filament or resin so that the joints wouldn't just break the first time you used the doll. So I don't have that doll anymore. I actually gave it away. But I do hope to maybe print another one in the future, because I do think it's really fun to have dolls in scenes. I used to not be a doll person, but after the Addams Family, I just think they're fun. They don't have to be in there all the time. So if you asked a question and I missed it, Rachel's really good at helping me see them. So, or feel free to just type them again if you know that I missed your question. The 3D printed Alice was so good. Even though I know you had a bit of a learning curve with that process, I was still impressed with the final product. Thank you, Matthew. Yeah, I was so glad to find an Alice figure, because I knew with the Alice that was from the original, the video game that I was going off of, she's so detailed and so, I guess, petite and like slim, that if I tried to sculpt her out of clay, not only would it be difficult to do, I would probably break her multiple times because I just am not that delicate when it comes to sculpting. So I'm glad that I found a 3D printer file to use. Okay, we're almost done with the lace. It's taking a little bit of time, That's okay. Okay. I was like, how did we go an hour so far? But we've only been going a 30 minutes. I don't think I ever have started a stream on the half hour before. So I'm like, what have I been doing for an hour? Okay, it's been 30 minutes. It's okay. All right. I'm gonna try and get through putting this lace on so we can move on with the next step, because we have a whole canopy to build. Now I'm not quite sure if the canopy is going to actually fit in the Fairfield, so that's something we can test if I get it done in time. But we can see if it will work. All right, I'm gonna get this lace to go around the corner one more time. I guess I'm just kind of doing a little bit of a fold in the corner. It says to ease the lace around the corner. I'm folding it. I guess I don't have enough patience to ease it. I'm just gonna fold it. So, almost there. Let me hit it with an iron to make sure it's stuck. My husband loves the Alice game. He bought me a life-size Alice dress, and it's displayed on a dress form. All of her outfits they're all so cool. Okay, I gotta focus. I gotta focus to get the lace on. And then, because if we still don't have a finished bed by the end of this live stream, that means I was not focusing enough. But see, I think that's why it would be so much better to not have an end goal in the live streams, because then we're free to chat and discuss miniatures and joke and have fun, and I don't feel like I'm on a schedule. We can still make miniatures and still create things and use glue and paint, but I don't feel like I have this much time to get this done. Because that's kind of my whole week most of the time. I have this much time to get the miniature done. Alright, so just add a little bit more glue on here. Spread that all out, and then we're almost done with the lace part. I did notice part of this lace has a stain on it, but that's okay. We won't worry about that. Who says you have to be on a schedule? That's true. I am my own boss. I'm the meanest, most strict boss I've ever had. And I do find that it does help me to be on a schedule, to make sure that I'm doing what I want to do, or getting done what I want to get done. But I am learning to be a little bit nicer to myself. To make it's okay to have the downtime and not always get something completely done. All right, so we have the lace all the way around. I'll wrap that up again a little bit later. All right, so if we go back to our paper, should I zoom in a little bit? I'm gonna zoom in just a bit. Sorry, I probably should have done that to begin with. What's a good way to store dollhouses if you don't have a lot of room? Probably my suggestion for that would be to get one of those metal storage racks that has the movable shelves. It's kind of an investment, but it's nice that the shelves can go anywhere, and typically you could probably get, depending on the size of your dollhouses, you could probably get 4 to 8 dollhouses on a shelf, and because they're kind of stacking up, they would not take up a big floor space. Okay, so see if I can iron this lace a little bit more flat. I don't think this lace cares about my iron at all. No, it's not going to lay flat. That's okay. All right, so if you notice here, there's a cut line right here. It says cut apart after lace is applied. And this is going to become like a pillow bolster thing that goes over the entire bed. So I am actually going to try and fold this in the correct spot. Looks like I already did. And then I'm going to iron it so I know where to cut. So I don't cut the wrong, or I don't cut at a diagonal or anything. Alright, so I am going to cut this apart, and hopefully I'm doing it correctly. For those of you who haven't watched the last one, I've never made a kit like this before, so I'm kind of, I've read a lot through this kit, but I may still mess it up, just so you know. If using shelves, be sure to start at the bottom and work your way up so that the shelves don't get top heavy. That's a great suggestion by Sean. Yeah, make sure you put your heaviest pieces at the bottom and then put your next shelf unit on top of it and then go lighter as you go up. Very good suggestion. Not a live stream idea would be neat, but it would be neat to see you do a collab with My Froggy Stuff and do a build challenge. I would love to do a collab with My Froggy Stuff. And even I've been thinking about, I know I have a lot of people who work in 1/6, so I might do like a 1/6 challenge, 1/6 scale challenge. I finally managed to catch a live stream actually live. Just want to say I enjoy your channel so much, and your older live streams are often a soundtrack to my own crafting. Oh, thank you, Skylossaraptor. I love that name. Okay. All right, so what we need to do next. Now, they do tell you to put muslin on the back of this bedspread. My thought is, and I always suggest you follow the kit directions. I'm not going to at this moment, and I understand the risk that I'm taking here. But my thought is that it suggests to back it with muslin so that you could cover up. For example, if your bedspread was see-through, you would very well be able to see the difference between the muslin and the dark green here. For mine, I can't really see the line, so I'm not going to worry about it too much. Now, there may be a whole other reason why this has been put in here. I don't know what it is, so I'm just going to go forward with just gluing it down and not worrying about the muslin backing, but it does have it in here. So let's see. Oh, I guess you're supposed to do the muslin lining before you cut it apart, but I didn't do that. Oops, sorry. I keep hitting the mic. I talk with my hands, so I'm sorry about that. Center spread on top of bed so that overhang is even on all three sides. Top should touch headboard. Top will have a raw edge. Glue in place, putting glue only on the inside hem portion of the spread. Avoid putting glue on lace edge. Okay, so what I believe is being said here is to center it, and I'm only going to be putting glue around here, and I'm not gluing on the inside because that risks the glue going through the fabric. So, bye Julie. All right, so I'm just going to add glue with the glue bottle. It's not the finest nozzle, but we're just going to go for it. I'm still trying not to add too much, but this is going to be faster than me using a toothpick. And then one more edge. I'm focusing on getting it right where that lace line was. I think I'm going to do, this is going to be covered up anyway, so I think I'm going to do a line of glue at the top just to keep that top part down. And I'm going to center it as best as I can, like so. And now I am going to kind of round the iron around the sides. Oh, thank you for the super sticker, Thrifted Dragon. I appreciate it. Okay, so I'm going to push down with my iron, and that's going to cause the tacky glue that I just put on there to take hold to whatever it is touching underneath. And that's going to cause a natural drape that goes down the side of the bed. Because if you just leave the fabric without gluing it down, it's going to stick out because fabric does not like to behave in miniature. It doesn't want to do what you want it to do, so you have to force it. You can force it with glue or with heat, or some people use starch, liquid starch. Thank you, Diane. Thank you for the super chat. Oh, what happened with Jillian? Once I made a little boy doll that went so wrong he ended up a Halloween witch. Hey, I think that's great. I used to, when I first started making chairs and trying out upholstery for the first time, if I had a chair that went wrong and I didn't like how it looked, I didn't like the finesse of the edges, I would take some muslin and I would kind of rough it up and age it, and then I would put the muslin over the chair to look like one of those chairs that have been stored in the attic for forever, and kind of, you know, how they cover it with a dust cover so it doesn't get covered and everything. So I think it's great when you create something and it's not quite what you wanted, but you still find a use for it. I think that's really fun. Okay, I am going to push down the corners as well. And now we have a little bedspread snug on the bed. And the iron helped with that so much. Now if you don't have an iron, you can hold it down and just wait for the glue to dry, but you will be waiting for quite a while and it could still pop up. So having an iron is helpful. I imagine if you have like a real life full-size iron, as is shown in this these instructions, I imagine what you would want to do so that you're not touching the iron is you would push the bed up against the iron with your fingers far away from it. That's just what I would imagine if you were trying to do this with a larger iron, which is what's suggested in the kit. So just make sure that your fingers are far away. So if this is we'll say this is the face of the iron, you'd probably just do something very gently, make sure it's the right heat, and keep your fingers away from the face of the iron, like so. All right, so we have a little bed here, and now we can make the pillow, which comes with this part right here. This is the part we cut off. Men's ties make good fabric with tiny prints. Oh yes. And it's so like luxurious, like the fabric's very luxury feeling. Okay, so we are going to follow the directions for the pillow. Now it suggests a 1/4 inch cut of foam. I don't have foam, but what I do have is this quilt batting, which is what I use on all my upholstery stuff. And so I am just going to use that. And basically you're wrapping this, and then you're just going to leave the lace edges at the side. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap this and use my iron to at least iron this part. I'm not going to iron the ends until it's on the bed. Welcome to everyone who's just joined us. I'm working on part 2 of making a 1/24 scale bed. And for some reason, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, the directions and everything that you need to do, but I still feel like it's still a complicated kit. It's still taking quite a bit of time to make sure that it's done correctly in the way it says. Okay, I might have made this a little bit too wide, so I'm just going to force it to do what I want it to do. Thank you for the super chat, Ava. I appreciate it. Yes, I just finished the bedspread and we're working on the pillow. So we're getting pretty close to having a completed bed. And it does say to put throw pillows on there. I'm not going to be making the throw pillows because I didn't include them in the instructions, but you can find what I'm trying to say. You can find directions for throw pillows for dollhouses fairly easy. So you can just add those if you feel like it. So this is just going to get glued on the top to create that top fold like a bed. Time for some hot chocolate, sweetie. Thank you, Nancy. Actually, I think we have hot chocolate. The kids would not say no to that for sure. All right, I'm just going to add glue in the center here. No, actually, I'm going to add glue along the entire way, and I'm going to add glue inside here. And that's so when I iron it down flat, everything takes hold that has tacky glue on it. Now, here's the trick, is I have to get it lined up correctly. I'm not on camera. There we go. Push it down. Is it lined up? Nope. Try again. The nice thing about working with tacky glue in the iron is if I don't like it, I do have a little bit of time to move it, and I just have to not hit it with the iron until I'm absolutely 100% happy with how it's looking. And then when I'm happy with the placement, I can do the iron and know that it's stuck in place. All right. Now I want hot chocolate. So I don't know if anyone here is from Italy, but when I was in Italy, their hot chocolate was just out of this world. I had never tasted anything like it before. To me, it tasted like a melted candy bar. It was so thick and amazing. It was really like, so whenever I think of hot chocolate, I think of the hot chocolate that ruined me, which would be the Italian hot chocolate that I had. Man, I'd love to find a recipe for that, although I probably would only be able to have like one a year. Love the new addition to your home space you have done. It seems you will be more comfortable. Yes, and I'm already filling it up with new stuff because I found this on the side of the road. So I was like, wow, you've had more space for what, a week, and you're already filling it up. So just pre-ordered the 1/24 room box. Yay! I'm so excited. Oh, I didn't even announce that. I just released the attic room box. So I don't know if you remember my abandoned attic space. I made that room into a room box, and it's on my store, bentleyhouseminis.com. You can click shop and you can check it out. I have it in 112 scale and 124 scale, and anyway, I just thought it was a fun room, and it's small. So if you like working in 1/12 but you don't have room for a whole dollhouse, it's a really small single room that could just fit on a shelf. Where in Italy were you? I was in a small town called Castiglione Fiorentino, and it was, I mean, we were pretty close to, I mean, it was like an easy trip into Florence or Rome, so we were around that area. And it was a smaller town, but they have a, I guess, a communication with the college I was going to. So it was study abroad. And so they had a spot in that town for students to come, and they had students come every semester. So that was just amazing. It was such an amazing time to be there. So many people getting snow. I want to tell you what the temperature is here. He'll probably be mad. Okay, so that is finished, and now we can move on to the next page. I'll cover up my little skeleton guy. He can finally take a nap, although his little feet hang off the edge here. That's okay. He doesn't need to sleep. He's dead, right? Maybe he just needs to rest. Just needs to rest a little bit. But he finally has a little bed, and we will definitely be using this bed in the master bedroom, but the canopy I'm about to create, maybe or maybe not. Oh, Sean found it. Italian hot chocolate. 2.5 cups of milk, 3 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of cocoa powder, 2 ounces of dark chocolate, 1 tablespoon of cornstarch, pinch of salt. Oh my goodness. Reading directions is not working so well for me today. I may have to try that. It was good. Okay, so in the instructions that I had shared, this part you will not see because this is for the dressing table, and we're not doing the dressing table. So I'm going to move down to this part, which is the headboard, canopy, and drapery. Now I will tell you that Deanne, she has, one of her biggest sellers is a pleater that makes these pleats, and you can make all sorts of different size pleats with her pleater. And I do believe that her website is in the description box of this stream if you're interested. If you're going to make some furniture and you want to make these perfect pleats, you can definitely check out her channel. She still sells them. I don't have one. I probably should get one. But I am going to try and pleat to the best of my ability so that it looks okay. It won't look as perfect as hers does I'm just telling you now, it's not going to look that perfect. But we're just going to try our best. So, if you're following along, we're going to need pieces that are marked CD1 and CD2, and these were cut out of the pattern. I also went ahead and pre-folded the lines, but I think I folded them the incorrect way. I need to try this hot chocolate. British hot chocolate is like dirty dishwater. No, but y'all have the scones, okay? Because I have had scones in London, and they were amazing. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to be folding all of this the opposite direction than I folded it previously, although I could still be wrong. Okay, so we have these pieces. Let's read the directions. Hi from Sweden. Just wanted to say I love your art and channel. Follow it vigorously. I actually tried making your armchair, but a version of my real one I have. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you, Jenny. Oh my goodness. We always get so hungry in these streams. We're always so hungry by the time we get to the end of it because people are either having snacks or thinking about having snacks. Okay, so we have this piece and this piece. Now what I need to do is this is a pre-fused piece. And if you saw my part 1 stream, this is a material called Wonder Under, which is basically, in my summary of what I think of it as, is a sheet of glue. And it's really helpful because glue can come through the fabric, but it won't come through the fabric if you use this Wonder Under. It also keeps you from having to hem things because it won't fray because all of it's glued together once you apply it. So this was applied with heat onto the back of the fabric. And then you can remove this part right here, and it leaves the glue on the fabric. And the glue that's left here is activated by heat. And so it doesn't matter what you're gluing it to. If you're gluing it to another piece of fabric or paper, it activates the glue so that it transfers and your fabric is stuck to whatever you want it to be stuck onto. So it's a really helpful thing. We found out it's, even though this kit is an older kit, they're still selling Wonder Under, and I'm sure there's other items as well that do similar things. But I think it's a great idea in miniature to have something like this because you can very easily use too much glue on fabric. Everyone's going to be making hot chocolate today and tomorrow. Okay, so we need to add the fabric. So we need to turn it over. Okay, printed side down. Lay CD1 on pressing sheet, printed side down. And when they say pressing sheet, it means you can use this piece. It's just to protect whatever is underneath from getting glue on it. So this is just going to protect all of this. And I think it's supposed to go like this. Let me turn my little ironing board. I'm going to try and do this to the best of my ability. All right. So basically this fabric is going to cover all of this paper and up until a certain line, and then we're just using this backing paper that I just pulled off of it so that I know that it's not going to get glue all over my ironing board. All right, let's see if we can do this. I think this is correct. If it's not, we'll find out. All right, this has moved so much. I need to make sure. So this is the line that I'm trying to line it up with. I think I have plenty of room to move it around, so I don't think I have to be too exact, but I'm trying to be as exact as I can. Okay. I'm going to try not to move it too much. Get it on top of here. Am I on camera? Okay. And now, cross over for the iron. Okay. All right, so I'm going to kind of start in the middle, and it's going to start melting the glue, and that's going to adhere the fabric to the paper that's underneath. And anywhere that there's not paper underneath, I have that piece of paper that I took off of it, and that's just protecting my ironing board. So hopefully this is working. I think it is. I'm just carefully starting from the center so I don't get any wrinkles, and then moving outwards from the center. I'm going to spin this. Oh yeah, it's sticking. And it's warm. My glasses keep falling down. There we go. How much? I missed that. How much weight will we all put on watching a bed being made? Oh, that's funny. I think snacking and crafting just goes together. Just perfect. You gotta have some kind of snack at some point. And if it happens to be hot chocolate, it's hot chocolate. I have a movie suggestion to watch while drinking the hot chocolate. Netflix just released an adult animation called The House. I saw an advertisement for that. I want to see that. So is it up now? Because I watched the trailer. It looked so cool. It is. It's stop motion animation with needle felted mice and people, I think. I think there's humans and mice and maybe other creatures. But yeah, The House on Netflix. I'm going to watch it and possibly drink hot chocolate while I do. All right, I think that's good. All right, so you'll be able to see that it kind of stuck to this paper, and that's the point of putting this paper underneath. But what I need to check is that it stuck to everything else, and it did not stick over here. So as you can see, it's still pulling up. So I need to be a little bit better about ironing that section down. And sometimes it just means I need to keep the heat over that section a little bit longer. I want to watch the miniaturist movie. What's the miniaturist movie? Is it, yeah, let me know. Because I think there's a couple out there. There's a horror miniaturist movie that I want to watch, but also I'm scared to watch. Okay. Is that working? I think it's the edges. Okay, I'm just going to go straight on the paper and try not to get glue on my iron. You definitely want to avoid glue on the iron, or else your iron will end up looking like this. I'm not quite sure how to clean it. I don't do horror, it gives me nightmares. I have definitely learned not to watch it right before I go to bed. I do have a very active imagination. And one night, okay, I'll tell you a story. One night, I was watching The Haunting of Hill House, the series on Netflix. It was pretty creepy. And it just, oh, sorry, I hit the mic. It was pretty creepy, and I had watched it like right before bed. And I don't know what it was, but we have a door in our bedroom, and the door was open. So it was kind of like this black void in this door, and it was just creeping me out. It's never creeped me out before, but this black void of the door being opened, I didn't like it. Something about that I just didn't like. So I got up and I closed the door, and then I could see the outline of the door, and the door was closed. And I went back to sleep. And in the middle of the night, I hear, and my husband had run into the door that I closed. And I felt so bad, but I laughed really hard. He's like, "Why did you close the door?" And I felt bad when I told him. I was like, "Well, the show I was watching really creeped me out. Sorry." Um, But I didn't do that again because it's just open while we sleep. And so anyway, I felt bad about that one. Okay, so cut excess fabric along the outside edge, leave 1/8 inch of fabric at the curve edge, clip fabric to curve, and slash the corners. Okay, so we need to cut around here. Oh, is the movie actually called The Miniaturist? I'll have to see that. Do you have any pets? Also missed your energy and craft. Thank you, Marius. Yes, I have one dog named Stormy. I don't know where she is. She's been very quiet. Stormy! I think she's sleeping on the couch. If she comes in here, I'll grab her and show you Stormy. Oh, I think she's coming. If you watched my video over building the new space, she got a really, come here. Oops. Really thin haircut. So this is Stormy. Look up here. Yeah, she's like, I was sleeping. So, but she's our only pet right now. Were you asleep? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Sorry. She's like, why'd you call me in here? Okay. So I need to clip in these areas and slash these areas. I think I just need to cut off these edges. I'm just going to go for it. Sometimes it's hard to know if you're doing the right thing when you've never done a certain type of kit before, because I'm sure this is like if you do a lot of Deanne's kits, you like build up the skills to know her verbiage and how she expects you to do things to get to the end result. But if you've never done it before, you kind of have to figure it out as you go along. The first one's going to be a little bit of a faith leap into getting it done. Stormy needs to oversee the work. She would probably just lick everything. She's a really licky dog. Our dog we had before her, Audrey, she didn't lick as much. Stormy's just like, that's how she inspects things, that's how she shows affection. She's just really licky dog. Is that an antique kit? I think, I don't know where the front page was. Oh, there it is. I can't remember. I think, I don't know if there was a date on there. There's not a date on here, but it has a fax number. I think it's from maybe either, it could be the 80s or the 90s. But I could be wrong. I know that Deanne sold kits for quite a long time. So it could be a kit that spanned over, that she sold for 20 years. So it could have been from anywhere in that time. You have a grandniece named Stormy? I've always loved the name Stormy. Actually, her middle name is Trooper. Her name is Stormy Trooper because she's black and white. Stormy Trooper Bentley. All right, I'm going to clip into this so that I can fold this over and finish this top part of the canopy. How long have we been going? I think we'll finish it. I think we're doing okay. I'm glad you caught it too, Angela. Reminds me of when I watched Hitchcock's Birds for the first time. I was alone at home and it was a late night show. Yeah, Alfred Hitchcock, we would watch his show when I was a kid. I remember watching it. And man, there were some scary episodes. All right, so I'm just going to keep clipping around the corner. And because this already has glue on it, does it say add glue? It says add glue. I don't know. It has the Wonder Under on it, so shouldn't it already glue? We shall find out. Maybe the glue is just to better hold it, but let's see. How to do this without getting my fingers. No, it works with the Wonder Under. Maybe the glue is just to like give like extra support. Thank you for the super chat, Diane. Appreciate it. Hi, Mr. D. My dog is Leia. Better make sure she and Stormy never meet. All right. Let's see how it looks on the other side. It's a little bumpy, but the iron can help that. Just make sure I keep my fingers free from the iron. And I can kind of force it into the scallop shape a little bit. All right, I'm gonna keep going around. So I can hopefully get this done, and then we can move on to the next step, which is going to be making the... Okay, let me focus on one thing. I get so focused on moving forward that I forget to focus on what I'm doing now. I can see how this would be very difficult to do with a large iron, so maybe that's why she suggests glue, because she doesn't want you to risk ironing your fingers with the big iron. So it's good to know you can also use glue and not have to depend on having the Wonder Under product. All right. So there we have the scalloped edge of our cornice. Is that what I called it? Canopy. Canopy. Yes, no ironing the fingers, for sure. Okay, now we're going to glue CD2 to the inside of the canopy as a lining. That's this. So as far as I know, it did not say to... It did not say anywhere to cover this. So I'm guessing you just glue this on top of the fabric just to keep it in place. So I'm gonna do that. I'm actually gonna clip this because it doesn't quite line up correctly. There we go. Clipping from the wrong side. That could be due to the fact that I put so much heat on it, I might have moved the fabric or the paper or something. So I'm going to clip this, and this is just going to line the inside here. I'm going to do it this way, but so you can see this is piece CD2. It's just some cardstock, and I think it's just going to keep all of this fabric pressed down, and it's lining up a little bit with these lines, so maybe it's giving extra support to that canopy so it doesn't crunch in. That's what I'm guessing. So let me grab some glue and we'll glue that piece on. Hopefully I didn't miss the step where I was supposed to cover that, but I didn't see it. And then I think we get to fold things. Nope, not yet. Not quite yet. I'm so excited to fold it and get it actually into a canopy shape. I'm always ready to jump forward to the part where it actually looks like what it's supposed to look like, but not yet, I guess. Not yet. Okay, I think I did that right. So it's just on the other side of here, and I think it just keeps that fabric from fraying at all and coming undone. All right, next step is up here on this part right here. Glue long side flaps, fold inside, and press. Glue it this way. Yes. Okay. So we're going to glue the flaps in. Glue long side flaps, fold inside, and press. All right, so we're going to add glue here. The woman at the store asked me what on earth I was going to make with 6 inches of fabric. A whole world of things. Yeah, I think at our local craft stores, you have to buy at least a quarter of a yard. Like, you can't buy less than that, because I'm just like, I just need like this much. And they're like, no. You have to buy at least a quarter of a yard. And so sometimes I end up having fabric that I have too much of it because I didn't need that much. But if you have a fabric place where you can get just the right amount, then that's great. All right, I'm going to glue the next one in, or over, fold the next one over. Stormy's getting upset at something outside. So I'm going to iron this down so it's nice and flat. And she does just ironing the folds. So I think it just makes everything really nice and crisp. And you don't have to worry about the folds being too thick. Let me know if she's too loud. I don't know how she is in this microphone. A lot of times she's too loud and she just upsets everybody's pets. So let me know. Oh, now she's getting really upset. Hold on 1 second. Are you okay now? Yeah, that's my battery pack. Thank you. Okay. Oh my goodness, A for apple. I'm so glad you found it. And yeah, you may need something a little bit stronger than hot chocolate. J, it's a clover iron. And if you go onto my website, I have a link to it there. Or you can just let me know and I'll send you a link. Oh, sorry, I missed a lot of comments. She gets so upset, and she gets so upset in the afternoon. Like in the morning, like before I woke her up to come in here, silence, silence. And then the afternoon, very upset about things. Okay, so now we need to cut out 4 fused gray pieces. So when they're saying fused gray, these are pattern pieces that I glued onto chipboard. And there was chipboard provided in the kit, but I think like cereal box material would work as well. I know chipboard has different names in other countries. We call it chipboard, and it's just that really thin cardboard that doesn't have corrugation in the center. So there's 4 of these, and it says glue in layers to the inside of the back canopy. So what I think it wants me to do is glue all 4. This is to give thickness and weight to the miniature, which is a really great thing. Deanne's been a professional miniaturist her whole life, and so she's definitely thought through these things. But sometimes when you're making miniatures, it's great that they have a good weight to them, because they can sit in your project, and if you bump the project, or you move your hand around, or you kind of bump into it, more than likely those miniatures will stay in place. So especially furniture, if there's a way you can add just a little bit of weight to give it some substance, especially when you're dealing with pieces that are this small. Like this piece actually has quite a bit of weight to it after all the things she had me add to it, surprisingly, for a bed this small. It's still not heavy, but it has more weight than you would think it does just by looking at it. So sometimes adding weight to something can be really helpful, even though it's not a visual improvement. All right, so I'm going to quickly glue all of these together. There's 4 of them. So 1, well, 2, 1 and 2 are glued together. All right, here we go. I need to get one of those upside down glue holders. I just never remember to do it. Especially for the tacky glue. All right. So I am going to put this underneath a 1, 2, 3 block, and this is going to dry just for a little bit because chipboard does have a tendency to warp. So let me grab that. Hi there, Ara. My first time writing in during a live show. Brad. Hi, Brad. Let's see. Yeah, a mason jar could definitely work. I've seen them, and these might have been homemade. I'm not quite sure. But it was where there was a place for the glue cap, because these little tiny caps, like, why are they so small? I don't know. But then when you put the glue in, it went like this, so that it wasn't going all over the bottom of whatever your jar was. Oh, bye, Sean. It's great it would be good to have one like that where it actually stops the glue from coming out. So yeah. Anyway, moving forward, we now need to make the pleats that are going to go on this back piece. Oh, you know what I should do? I should probably, yeah, I need to glue these pieces on here, I think. Yeah, I need to do that. Okay. Trying to think. I have found those upside down tacky glue bottles. I'll send you one in the next shipment. Oh, thank you, Megan. I think I've had ones before where the cap lets you hold it upside down, but I feel like those are more expensive than these ones. I don't know. I could be wrong. I don't think I've compared really. I feel like sometimes when you are going to buy glue, you have like, if they have tacky glue, they have one option. So you can't really compare prices very well. Yes, these are 1, 2, 3 blocks. They're incredibly heavy, and it's really great because it will weigh down whatever you have drying. And it's a lot of weight in a small package. So it's really great for miniatures because like a lot of people use books, which books really help for like big walls, but if you are gluing something smaller, it can be really annoying to try and use a big book to weigh something down. So these 1, 2, 3 blocks are pretty helpful. And you usually get like two for $14 to $18, depending on where you buy it from. And then you have to clean them. So when you get them, you have to clean off the oil that's on the block. So just keep that in mind. Use some kind of orange oil soap or something that kind of cuts through grease, and you'll be able to get it off. All right, now we are going to make pleats. Oh, I'm a little nervous about this. All right, this piece is the 7.5 inch by 4 inch wide piece. And, oh, she's showing in the directions, this right here that is flat in the directions is the pleater tool that Deanne sells on her website, which has all these ridges, and you just kind of put it down flat, and then you stuff the fabric into the ridges, set it, and then you have perfect pleats. I'm going to be doing it the fast, kind of messy way, so which is just kind of making up my own pleats. So all of this information is on how to use the pleater, and I know there's a lot of people who actually have this tool. A lot of miniaturists that are in my miniatures group have this tool and have used it many times. I just don't have one. So, all right, so we're going to start making pleats, and we have to make enough that will cover up this right here. So what I might do is pleat it on here because I'm going to be gluing it straight onto the back. Is that a good idea? I don't know. I don't know if that's a good idea. We're just going to experiment and see how it goes. All right. So this is not the way that Deanne suggests to do this. For anyone trying to do this correctly, this is not the way that's suggested. This is Aira's moving forward without any real plans way of doing it. Okay. Oh, she's getting upset again. Alright, so I'm going to start by gluing one edge on here. Hold on one second. You're fine. Yeah, it's okay. They're not attacking our house. It's fine. No, it's fine. It's okay. All right. So we are y'all talking about borrowers? Sorry if I'm missing any questions or comments. Okay, so we're just gonna move forward and see how it goes. You're okay. It's okay. I'm not the best at pleating. I tend to rush through it a little bit and just kind of make it look halfway decent. So I think I'm going to go ahead and put glue all over. I will try to flatten it out a little bit. No, ma'am. You're okay. Well, hold on. I'm going to get glue all over this. I'll flatten it out just a little bit so that I don't have any globs of glue coming through my pleating. And let's see. I'm just going to try to, well, I don't know. I'm just going to try to accordion fold it a little bit and stick it into the glue. So I'm just kind of pulling it up and letting parts of it stick down, trying to keep it as straight as possible. So it is sticking to where I put all the glue, which is okay, which is what we want. And the tacky glue is going to let me mess with it just a little bit. Maybe it probably would have been better for me to do half the board and then the other half of the board. That's all right. We're figuring it out as we go along. So then we'll do, okay. I was like, did I turn my mic back on? Okay. And we're almost at the end. I think I can fit one, oh. I think I can fit one more. And there we go. Some pleats. Are they straight? Maybe. Kind of. They're a little bit messy, and that's okay. I think I'm going to iron them down this way, and then I can always add an extra one at the end if I think it needs it. So I'm going to iron all of these down, and so I'm kind of pushing them to the left side a little bit. Hi, Nia. Thank you. All right. Here we go. We're just going to go for it. They're not even on this edge, but they're more even in the middle, and that's okay. What the look I'm going for with the Fairfield, if you're new to the project, is that it is a Victorian home that was redecorated in the 70s, and there's probably going to be some 60s inspiration as well. I'm probably going to age quite a few things, including this bed. So this bed has kind of a 60s feel to it. And so it's okay if over time the pleats just got a little bit wonky as the bed was sitting in this old home. All right, I was on a roll and then I pulled up the last one, so we'll see how this one goes. Is this the new workspace in Scotland? We'd lovingly call that a space a situtory. Part outdoors, inside. No, this is my normal YouTube space. And my normal, it's in the place where my desk usually sits. But it has been really, really nice to have that extra new space just for store things, because I am releasing a new kit this week. So I have the ones that I've pre-made all like in their boxes, like ready to go. So I've had some orders come in today, and that way I can just kind of be prepared, and people don't have to wait the full 7 to 10 business days for me to create the kits. I already have some that are ready to go. I still may need to make some depending on how many orders come in, but it's been so nice to be able to have a place to put those so that they're not in this space where I need to get out the projects and things like that. Hi everyone, my first chat, sub to BHM recently. Aaron, I've really been enjoying your vids. Can't wait to try some of your awesome techniques. Thanks so much for sharing what you do. Thank you so much for the super chat, Voracious Vegan. I appreciate it. And I'm so glad you've been enjoying the channel. It's my shop studio. Yes, there were so many great names for what I should call that the new space. I really liked Sunroom Studio. People said because I called it a patio, people said I should call it the Poodio, which made me really laugh really hard. And then there were suggestions for Studio A, um, and then Studio B, which kind of goes along with my first name, Studio A, and then Studio B for Bentley. So anyway, it was fun reading through the names. I don't have a name yet that I'm just consistently using. I want a situtery too. Sounds wonderful. I just like that name, situtery. And it makes sense because it's Studio 2. Am I saying that correctly? Situtery? Hi, Erin. All right, so that is the pleats that I'm going to do. They're not as good as they would be if I had the pleater tool, but we're moving forward and I'm going to glue this down. Yeah, I'm going to add the glue on here. Come on. I'm just going to add it on the back here. Messy gluing job. All right. It doesn't matter if the glue shows through this back fabric because it's the back. I hope. I hope it's the back. That's what it means. I think it is in my head, so we'll see. Oh, Studio Annex was another one people said. I'm like, the Annex sounds so fancy. Angela. Yeah, Annex sounds fancy, but it also reminds me of my time when I worked in a library, and the annex was the scary part of the library. So we had to go and pull books from shelves to scan them as part of the job, and nobody wanted to go to the annex. It was like the last, like we had to like pick up job forms. It was always the last job form left. So if you came in late, you got to go to the annex. It was kind of creepy over there. Well, parts of it were creepy. All right, so we have this piece. Now, hopefully we can fold it because that's what I've been looking forward to this entire time. No, not folding yet. Oops. Okay, well, I might have to cut these parts off. We'll see. Yeah, I think I do have to cut these parts off because they're going to show over the top. So I'm just going to cut off the excess fabric. I probably didn't do what I was supposed to do because I did the pleating in my own way. All right, so the last thing that I have here is CD4, and this is the contrasting trim for the canopy. So this needs to be undered to this fabric. Did I glue something to this? Oh, there we go. So this is the green that I used on the headboard part of the bed. And what was Rachel's title? BHM Troll Hunter. All right, so this is, I already applied the Wonder under here, so I'm just removing the wax paper. And I'm going to add the contrasting canopy shape. And then, where did that other piece? I'm just going to use this larger piece because it's a little bit easier than trying to fit the exact piece on there. And I'm going to glue this paper to the fabric. And in one of the comments on part 1, someone had mentioned that they think instead of me trying to fold the edge of the fabric over, which was really difficult on these thin contrasting pieces, that I was just supposed to cut it. So I'm going to try just cutting it and see how that looks, because I think you might be right. Because nowhere does it say to fold the fabric over. It just says trim the fabric off and glue it to the canopy. So we're going to try that and see how it looks. I love the skeleton is just chilling on the bed. Yeah, he hasn't had a bed for a long time, so I think he's just really excited about it, which I don't blame him. If I hadn't had a bed for a long time, I'd be really excited about a bed too. Yay, my suggestion. It worked really well for me, and I did it on the bed frame. Okay, awesome. Thank you for that suggestion. I couldn't remember offhand who it was, but I was like, you know what? I think that's correct. I think that's the way it's supposed to be done. And I did not read that correctly. So I don't understand people who don't read their comments, because it is a wealth of knowledge. For me, at least. So many times I read the comments and I'm like, oh, yes, that would have been much easier for me to do it that way. All right. So I'm going to cut really close to this piece of paper. Yeah, I think that'll work. And it'll be so much easier than trying to get a really detailed edge on this very, very thin piece of paper. Because I couldn't quite figure out, I'm like, it's so hard to flip this fabric around this little flimsy piece of paper. Why is the pattern in like just regular printer paper and not in cardstock? So that makes a lot more sense, because this will just be hidden and no one will even know it's there. Deanne knew what she was doing. All right, well, I didn't cut that very smoothly. All right, I tried. It's so tiny. It's really, really tiny. Half scale is really tiny. This is part 2 of this kit. For anyone who's just come in, this is a 1/2-inch furniture kit, and it's an older one by Ruff. She doesn't sell these anymore, but she allowed me to share the pattern for the bed. And you can find it in part 1 if you want to make it too. And so I'm just kind of walking through the process of how everything goes together. Okay, so, excuse me, sir, I need to read the directions. Okay, center CD4 trim so that the space is even all around. So it does not say, oh, my finger's frozen, there we go. It does not say to fold this yet, but it's helpful for me to see where this top part of the fold is. I feel like I'm a librarian or a teacher. Like, these glasses, they're so heavy they just slide down. So it is helpful to know where the folds are. So I'm going to kind of pre-fold it just so I can get an idea of where this needs to go. All right, and I'm going to glue it on. We're just going to go for it. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what y'all are talking about in the comments. I look up and I see a phrase and I'm not sure if I should repeat it, so I don't know what it's in reference to. But as long as y'all are having fun and everyone's being kind, I don't. All right. Okay, here we go. I'm getting way too much glue on here. As I add more, like, that's too much glue. Add more. Great idea. Okay. All right. This is the part I'm the most nervous about, trying to get this little trim on here and making it look right. Okay, just breathe. And hopefully it's correct. Okay, I think I did it. It's a little wonky how I cut this, but it's okay. 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 I knew you were on top of it, Rachel. Thank you for the explanation. Just sometimes I look up and I'm in the there someone y'all are in the middle of a conversation and I have no idea what we're referencing. Are you planning on doing another prompt vid sometime soon? I'm still working on my castle and I don't want to miss out. I'm hopefully, yes, doing one soon, maybe end of this month, but I do think they'll probably come back more regularly. So if you don't get it done in time for the one at the end of this month, don't worry, there'll be another chance sooner than it has been. So, okay, so now it's time to fold, the part I've been excited for. All right. Refold canopy on all scored lines. Press with iron to ensure fold lines. Glue corner triangles, then side flaps to back. Hold until secure. Press corners with iron to make sure folds are smooth. Okay, here's the moment we have been waiting for it to become a bed canopy. So I think this folds, hold on. So somehow these little corners fold in, I think. How long have we been going for? Oh, we got 15 minutes. We're going to finish this in the perfect amount of time, I think, if I can get the folds to work. So I think that's, so I just kind of stuffed the triangle corners in there however they fit, and I still have too much fabric on this pleat. I just don't think I did the back of the pleated fabric correctly, so, but I'm just cutting off anything that doesn't look good. So I'm just, these little triangle pieces I'm just kind of shoving in there, and I'm going to add glue so that they all work, I guess. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to iron this fold because this is not wanting to lay flat, so I'm going to iron those folds real quick so that it can lay as flat as possible, or I guess be as square as possible. Oh, you're asking about prompts? Yes. So I have a series where I have a book where I just wrote a bunch of different words, and the words could be something like popcorn or could be something like socks, and then I have to make a miniature based off of that. And oh, I guess I should do the other side also. I should just do all of them. So it's a fun series. I kind of created it to fill in the gap weeks when I really didn't have a lot of time to do something on my projects, but I just had gotten so into all of my bigger projects that the prompts kind of went to the wayside a little bit. They had never been like the biggest performing videos on my channel, which is, you know, not the main reason why I make videos, but that does tell me that it's not the videos that people are coming back for every time. But I do know a lot of people enjoy them because it's, you know, I invite people to join in, and we hadn't done one in a while. So I'm excited to bring them back whenever I can, and I do want to try to use them alongside my bigger projects. So try to make a prompt that fits in with a bigger project. Okay, so now I'm going to try and fold this. Well, I'm going to try and glue it, so we'll see how that goes. To avoid ironing your fingers, I've seen people use silicone brushes or like a rubber sculpting tool to hold the fabric down. Oh, that's a good idea. I have rubber sculpting tools for polymer clay, but it might be good just to have those around for general use. I'm going to add glue back here. And then I'm just going to fold it and hold it. Yeah, a lot of people enjoyed the prompts, and I did enjoy having like a little break from it, but I am excited to bring it back too. So, because I enjoy seeing what other people create, and I get to show that at the end of the prompt video, so I really did miss that part. The captain's quarters is sitting right there, and I just recently found a base for it sitting in the garbage, so I'm pretty excited about that. Alright, so I'm being careful not to get my fingers, but I'm going to glue down this side, and I think that worked pretty well. And I'm glad I didn't end up getting it the wrong direction, so I didn't get it reversed. Oh yeah, I've heard of silicone thimbles too. Alright, I'm going to fold this part in. We have one side left to fold, and then we will be able to put the bed and the canopy together. I'm not going to glue them together. I wonder how easy it would be to show if it fits in the room. I have to bring the Fairfield over. Alright, so I just have to glue this side, and we have a little canopy for the bed. I think it works pretty well. So I'm just stuffing the triangles in there, trying to get the glue to come out. I'm going to add glue on the back of this piece. And glue it down. And all of that chipboard that we put in there is making this incredibly sturdy, which I'm sure that was Deanne's purpose of putting it in there, but it's really easy to glue up against, so you don't feel like you're bending or you're going to break your project because you're gluing onto this piece. Sometimes miniatures just seem so fragile that you're afraid if you put any kind of pressure in order to do something, you're going to break it. But this doesn't feel that way. It feels incredibly sturdy. Alright, so I'm just going to get all of this. So I'm kind of pressing on one side to iron down the edges. Getting the iron heat taking some time. There we go. We have a little canopy. Canopy equals can of peas from the Paper Moon movie. I don't think I've seen that movie, but now I'm probably going to think can of peas when I think of that. Alright, so in the instructions it says, if desired, glue bed to flap at the bottom of the drapery and headboard to drapery folds, or simply place them together against a wall or window. So I'm going to take this guy out of the bed here. So it has this flap that comes out underneath, and you can glue that to the bed permanently, and I imagine you would add glue. Oh, my fingers froze again. There we go. I imagine you would add glue onto the drapery right here, and then that would become one piece. So, oh my goodness, I'm so excited about how this turned out. Like, I really did not know, like, if I was going to be able to do this, because it is a very detailed kit, and it has a lot of techniques that I've just never done before. And so that's always a little bit intimidating. And I hear people say that about my videos sometimes. They've just never done it before. So just so you know, I feel it too whenever I'm going into something I've never done. This was using a different type of material, Wonder Under. And then it was a different way to put something together. Lots of fabric and folding and paper. So yeah, so I'm really excited about how this turned out. Now, let's see if we can get it into the master bedroom in the Fairfield. So, let's see, how am I going to do this? Maybe like, nope, maybe like this. Let's see. All right, I'm going to put the bed right there. And this will let me know if I need to glue it together or if I need to just use the bed and not the canopy. So we'll see. All right, let me grab the Fairfield. There we go. See if I can hold it. There we go. So this is the master bedroom. And I have my ongoing list of things I need to do in there. Which way do I need to go? This way, I guess. All right. So here's just the bed by itself. So it's going to go in this room. As you can see, it's already pretty tight space in there. Let me see if I can get the canopy. So it probably would go... It's so bad at directions on the camera. Okay. Here we go. Can I do this with one hand? Put this, oh, that barely fits. Like I had to wedge it in there. That is wedged in there. But it does fit. It does fit. So I do want to do like a dark wood paneling in that room. And so if I could figure out the camera direction. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I'll do a better picture of it and put it on Instagram. Sorry, hold on. All right. Sorry, I just realized there's masking tape in the way over there. But I'll do a better picture of it in the room and put it on Instagram so you can see it. But that's our little bed. I think it turned out pretty cool. And then I'm not going to do any pillows here until I decide what else is going to go in the room, because I might want to match something else with the pillows. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But that's it, and it has been almost 2 hours, so actually that was, oh, let me put the skeleton in the bed, because that's important, because it is his bed. Hold on. All right, so you can see him chilling in his fancy bed. So fancy. I mean, that's pretty cool, right? Now these are a little bit larger than half scale, so that's why his feet hang off. So this bed is in scale, it's just that the skeletons are slightly larger. Just so you know why he's a little bit too long for the bed. So don't think that you need to make it longer to fit if you have a half scale figure. If he was truly half scale, he should be around 3 inches tall, and I think he's 3.5. 1, 2, 3. He's about 3.5. So he is 6.5 feet tall. So that's why his feet stick off the bed. Oh, he needs a teddy bear? All right, well, that is it for today. That's it for the stream. And the next stream, I don't know what it'll be. It'll be something exciting because we are going to do uh, Fairfield February. And I don't know if every video is going to be the Fairfield, but a lot of them are. I'm going to do a wrap up over everything that we've done in the live streams for the Fairfield, and that'll be for the people who don't come to live streams. There's just a lot of people who don't want to watch 2 hours worth of video, and I totally understand that. So it'll be kind of a wrap up, but I hope if you have been watching the Fairfield, you'll still find it interesting to see how far the house has come just through doing it in a live stream. And it's been 2 years now. 2 years we've been working on the Fairfield in the live streams, but there was like a 6 month break, I think, where I did the airship because I just needed a little bit of a break from it. So, anyway, that's my thought process. So I'm looking forward to Fairfield February, where I can do some more edited videos and do some longer projects, but then speed up the video for you all. So thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for the suggestions, and thank you for super chats. Thank you, Rachel, for helping moderate the stream. Thank you all for just being awesome to each other in the comments and having a fun time and enjoying each other's company, because I know I can't see everybody who's talking. I can't see all the comments, but I think it's so fun that we can still enjoy each other's company online. So anyway, I hope you all have an amazing week, and I will see you next week with a Beetlejuice video. So I'm super excited about that. Bye, everybody. Buttons. There we go. Bye.